guys all to come on in and see us. And I know it's been an exciting time. Hi, Jazzy. Good to see you. It's been quite a weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Absolutely happy Thanksgiving. We're just here in the mall. It's getting crowded in these malls, I gotta tell you. Are you guys doing shopping? I don't know if I really want to shop in all of this, but I had something else I wanted to say really quickly. Let's see if we can get a few more people though to come on in. Come on in. Hi, Phil. How are you? We got a few more people coming in. I don't know. I guess everybody's having a holiday today, huh?
What are you doing?
Hi, Ricardo, my love. How are you?
This is Black Friday, so everybody's out shopping, probably in a line somewhere trying to buy a TV.
TV. Well, I did want to stay before we got started. We had a very tragic loss this week with my beautiful friend, Troy Clark. Troy was one of our longest employees at Centric, and he was even supporting us with the show we have on. And tragically, last week we had Donald Lawrence, and he was on, and he was saying a few words, and then he went into the hospital, and unfortunately he passed a couple of days ago. And so I wanted to send condolences out to his family, and I'm surprised today I'm doing as well as I am, because it's been hard. Hey, J. Drew Sheard, how are you, sir? And so we're just thankful to be here today. And
yes. Well, normally we have a moment of silence, but I just want to have a moment of a hallelujah for Troy Clark. He was just a blessing. Brother was, hey man, how you doing?
How you doing, Jonathan? We were just talking about one of our oldest and longest employees, Troy Clark. He passed away, and we need you today, brother, because it's just been kind of it's been a rough week for me, for sure. Do you remember Troy?
I most certainly do, because I hate the fact he had great hair.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did have great hair. And he was a lot of fun.
He was a great brother. It's a loss to it's impacted a lot of folks. It happened suddenly. And so normally there's a moment of silence. I was telling, Vicki, I want to have a moment of just rejoicing for him.
Because he was
yay, bro.
Yeah, he was quite a comedian.
You're doing it now, bro.
Yeah. So,
but let me tell you something funny about deaths and all that. So there have been two occasions in my career of which have been having to do with deaths. One, years ago, when I was first starting out in comedy, I was at a comedy club in Atlanta called Comedy Act Theater, made famous from LA. And this one night, the owner came up to me and said, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? He said, we sold out tonight. You're headlining, but it's by one group of people. I'm like, I don't know anything about it. As it turned out, someone I went to high school with, who was later on my dentist, she lost her mother. And then after the funeral, she bought everybody tickets to come to see me to laugh off the night. So they actually bought out the whole place for the whole night. So I was doing a show for a whole lot of bereaved people. So I love the fact that I'm able to do that.
Well, that is so good. Well, we need it today, I'll tell you that. But I want to just...
Well, good to see you, man. The last time I saw was in Inglewood. They were having that celebration, that festival, man.
That's when Molly Music was there. Molly Music.
That's right. But Jonathan, you are like an A-lister comedian.
I ain't no A-lister, Vicki. No, I ain't.
Well, you're an A-lister for me, baby.
I know.
So how about that?
But I know good and well. I'm about a good G-list,
But for us in certain circles, you are it, my dear.
I got you.
You are it, and I mean, you've been on. I saw you first on the NAACP Image Awards, I think, and you've been a pioneer and the father of cuss-free comedy, of course. And we've seen you on Def Jam Comedy and Comedy Central. What are you talking about? Oh gosh,
cuss-free.
Well, no, he's gonna think he's a comedian now, and it's just gonna be a mess.
The best out of me, man.
But he is.
And the Stellar Awards and so many shows that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
And you're just incredible, and we're so happy to have you on the show today.
Vicki, okay, so we have, we all have history here, right? Let me just get right to it. So here's the first thing. I still believe that the best of anything that can happen to a black man is by way of a black woman. That's just my thing. And so I have always wanted for black women to be the catalyst of anything that happened to me. So consequently, I got into this industry on the level that I am. See, I was the first one in the Southern District to be coined gospel comedian.
Mm-hmm.
But on the West Coast, you had your guy, Broderick Rice was there. You know Broderick Rice?
That's right.
Well, what happened is I signed to a major label first. I'm the only first, quote, Christian comedian to sign with a major label. So I was signed by Demetrius Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
And I was on, yes, that's your girl because y'all are the same. And so she signed me a 5-record deal with, at that time, which was Warner Brothers Gospel.
Okay.
And they had these people unknown. I was unknown. Some guy named Donnie McClurkin, he was unknown at that time.
What was that?
Yeah, some guy named some lady named Beverly Crawford, nobody knew of. Some choir director named Orlando Draper. I don't know these people.
All these people.
Yeah, so we were all signed, and so as far as the level that I am, it was because of a black woman. So fast forward, after that had ended, I just knew I was going to be the next signee on Gospel Centric. I knew. I was the first comedian on Gospel Centric. I knew it in my spirit. I sit behind the woman who owns Gospel Centric and her husband every Sunday at church. I knew I was going to be there. It's going to be me and Kirk Franklin. We're just going to take over gospel entertainment in my spirit.
Your spirit should have come and told me.
What? My spirit was...
I would have maybe given it some more consideration.
Oh, man. I tried. Then I tried to get the Claude because I figured I'm going to get the Claude. Claude can talk to Vicki. And Claude said, nope. You talk to her.
That ain't my lane.
That ain't his lane.
Stacey Evans Morgan just came on. Stacey Evans is on, and she and her brother does so much with television. Yeah. And we considered it. I remember asking you to be on the show, and you couldn't be on it. And I was wondering, now I'm thinking maybe he was mad at me or something. I don't know.
What show?
It was called So Laughable. We went to Savannah, Georgia.
We're too small for you, man.
Yeah, wait. This is my first time ever hearing it. I never heard about this.
What?
I never. No.
Yeah, we called her. We had somebody call, and they said you were busy. This is too long ago to be talking about me.
Oh, Lord.
We had Yvonne Orgy and some other people because we were trying to get into that arena. We might do it again. Who knows? But what I'm missing is we have broken bread together so many times at Tan and Maynard's house. Yeah. Tan, who can cook on down, but you left us and went to Atlanta. So what are you doing? What did you do for Thanksgiving yesterday? And
so
COVID.
Let's go back again because I did have dinner at your house one time.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah. We've been around each other as friends.
Well, but here's the thing. I came to your house because I was really believing God that I was going to be able to get some free dental work by way of somebody's sister. I
remember that with my sister.
I was trying to get up in the Mac family.
Check it out, the ladies. Yes, right.
Yeah, what happened, brother?
I was trying to get in the family, Vicki. I was trying to get in the family.
Yeah, you disappeared.
No, what happened is your sister happened to ask me. She asked me something about credit rating. I was like, never mind.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
My sister's a colonel now, full bird colonel in the Air Force.
She's a full-bird colonel, full bird.
Yes, sir.
So we're not playing around.
Full bird.
No lieutenant.
Wow.
No major, no captain.
Wow.
Full bird.
A colonel.
That's awesome.
We would have welcomed you, brother.
Ain't too many of them. Ain't too many of them, I'm telling you.
We were ready to welcome you.
It just wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be.
No, but we're still
but
friends.
I have to tell you, man, with the COVID and everything, they got limited restrictions and stuff like that, but we were still able to connive some kind of way to get some of that tan
dropped us off some food yesterday.
I know that's right.
Snuck in. She had to throw it out the window. I caught it and brought it home just so we could be right.
We have a friend named Tan, and she's like this big.
I know.
And that girl can cook down like a big old woman. You can't even think she eats her own food. She's really about like a size 1 or something.
0 to 1, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But so what happened? Why'd you leave LA and go to Atlanta?
That
LA was $2 for the man.
It was supposed to be between me and you, Vicki. Nobody supposed to know that, but now that everybody knows.
Oh,
it wasn't public yet, darling.
Oh, I messed up.
But it's all good. I mean, I was going to make the announcement probably this week.
But haven't you said it online?
No, I've not said it. No.
Oh, well, we broke it first here. I done messed up.
No, it's really all good. I mean,
lemonade.
Well, you're talking about the Atlanta Hawks so much.
Man.
What's up with that?
The point I was making is I was just feeling love for my home team because they needed help. Just my home team. Not that I had moved back. I was just trying to be, have some allegiance. But no.
Messed up the whole thing.
So, but it's still me and you talking, so it's all good. Stacey said it's all
good. Don't tell nobody. Come on, y'all. Don't tell nobody.
Well, look at Stacey. Jonathan. He's not only an actor, a comedian, and so many other things, but he's a good spell check person. Because whenever I write something wrong or misspell it on Instagram, Jonathan writes me a very sweet note and says, "You have misspelled so-and-so. Have you always been so good at spelling?"
Well, see, okay, I have always been like a stickler for correct spelling and correct usage of words. It just True story, y'all. One time I was going through an Esquire magazine, one of my favorite magazines, and and so there was a typo in a title.
What?
And I found the number. I called the managing editor. And I said to the editor, I said, "I'm just a customer. I'm looking at page blah, 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 blah. And I'm a little bit taken aback by the fact that you felt it okay to give have a typographical error in a magazine of which I patronize." He said, "What are you talking about?" Went to that page and I heard him screaming at somebody, "Michael, get over here." And he went in on this guy, and I got a free year subscription from that.
Get out of here.
Wow.
I don't know why I did that, Vicki and Claude. I just did it, and I just thought I'd see what happened.
Unfortunately, Jonathan has to correct us often. Because
he also creates his own new words, too, every now and then.
Oh, you go there?
I'm not going there, but he does.
You did. You went there.
Did I go there?
Yeah, you're so.
Oh, my goodness.
He wants to know what this word YOWAZZ means.
You were watching Roland Martin? So Roland Martin, number one, Roland Martin, he is my Brian Gumbel. I mean, if he says it, I believe it.
Oh, okay.
He's the ultimate journalist, and because he has his own show, Unfiltered, he can say whatever he wants to say. So he manages to put words together with emphasis. So when he wants to say the words "your" and "ass," he'll say "your ass." He said, "You need to bring your ass over to my show." So it's YOWAZZ, which is combined to mean your bottom. Bring your bottom to my show.
So your bottom parts. Your YOWAZZ is late for dinner.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yo, get your bottom up in this room right here.
Exactly.
That's funny. That is so funny. So you know what? I always try to respect people, and of course I respect you. And you're a very intelligent man. So you're an intelligent person's comedian who observes, is an observer and kind of a satirist. And I've wondered, I did not know that you started off as a radio personality. And
I majored in broadcasting first. When I was in the 11th grade, my voice got deep. So when I was in high school, we had this inter-campus radio station, and I always had a love for music and radio. So when I went to college, what am I going to major in? I tried broadcasting, and I was the first, DJ at my college radio station. Then I worked in another radio station, and when I left college, I moved back to Atlanta. I worked for Country 101 WBIE.
Country.
I did. I worked at Country 101. I worked at WBIE, which was big band nostalgic music. Then I went over to Clark, Atlanta University, worked at WCLK and jazz, and I've just always loved.
Really?
Yeah, so that was like my thing.
Wow.
Do you know
I might be going back in, huh?
Do you know Wandalyn Stokes?
Of course I know Wandalyn. She was my boss.
No.
Yeah, she's the one that had me. She's the one that brought me on. She loved the fact that I did comedy, and she gave me a spot on the gospel show, and then I later on had a jazz show that night.
Oh, I wonder if we ever saw each other and didn't even know it.
Oh, no, because I wasn't in the business at that time.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But you were getting ready to say something in terms of radio. What was that you were getting ready to go into?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, there's a possibility that I'll be returning back to it in another way. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like something literally just happened last week. I got a call. So.
Okay. All right. That's exciting. But how did you get into this whole comedy thing? I'm wondering, do people just, as kids, are they the class clown or something? Or how do you decide, oh, gee, I'm going to be a host. I'm going to open up for some of the greatest people, James Brown, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
I mean, people just don't think that way, do they? Or?
No. Okay. Well, my story was this. Before I was doing all of this, I was a choir director.
Excuse me.
Let me tell you this. You think Ricky Dillard was crazy? I was twice that. I promise you. I was one of the most animated gospel choirs in Atlanta. So I started
guys,
off.
Wouldn't you love to see that?
And I was that. Hey, and I was that thin back then. I'm thin now. I'm super thin. But so Vicki and Claude, see, y'all can relate to this. See, people don't know that there's been an evolution of gospel throughout the years.
Yes.
And there was a time back in the day when there was a black man and gospel, he was assumed to be a certain way.
You're gonna go there, okay?
Yeah, back then. I mean, that was
Yeah.
So I was a gospel choir director. I had to make sure that people know that wasn't my life's preference.
Okay.
And so when we would be doing concerts, I would be the MC and the choir director, and I'm having people laugh in the audience, just being me. Right. So then when people saw me, they were like, man, that would be a great idea for what I'm doing. So I started doing gospel concerts in Atlanta. And then it got to the point where I became nationally known somewhat. So I started traveling, emceeing gospel concerts, infusing comedy.
Okay.
So 1,000 years ago, it seemed like I emceed for a concert for Take Six. I went to school with most of those guys at Oakwood.
You went to Oakwood?
I went to Oakwood.
Yes, right. Oakwood, yeah.
In Alabama, okay.
Yeah. I was raised Seventh-day Adventist, and so when I did the concert with Take Six, their manager at the time, Gail Hamilton.
Yes.
Because Vicki worked at Take Six.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Gail. She's in South Africa now.
Exactly. So I was working at that time for AT&T, and then I was traveling on the road with Take Six on the weekends for a while. And then it just kind of jumped off from there. So Gail Hamilton thought it would be a great idea. She became my first manager. And then she said, let's keep Jonathan with us on the road. And so I looked at my check from AT&T, people cussing me out on the phone. And I looked at my check for being funny for 15 minutes. And I'm like,
peace out.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
I did know the Seventh-day Adventist, but I had forgotten about it. And Gail, do you ever hear from Gail in South Africa anymore?
Not even. The last time I heard from her, heard of her, we were honoring Take 6 at Oakwood, and I was emceeing this tribute to them, and they had a video piece from her. Last time I saw her, she still looks the very same.
Wow. You know, I was wondering, because sometimes when you do your famous sketch of Luther Vandross and some of the others, there's a real voice in there. And I was telling Claude, I wonder if he ever was going to sing, because it seems like you try so hard to sound bad, because I'm like, he can carry a note if he wants to.
Now that's actually true.
Too.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I really do love music, and I am able to sing. I'm a singer. I am a singer.
Okay, I thought so.
But I never, thought about doing it as a profession. I just love I'm very critical when it comes to music. I don't like just anything. I know great talent. I pick the winner of The Voice every year. I'm always right.
Really?
Every time.
What?
Because I know great talent, and I know, and I get so frustrated, Vicki and Claude, by these singers who are supposed to be singers and they're just not. And I just, and then I wonder why certain real singers don't get the kind of accolades or attention. Like, the world should know Lalah Hathaway. That's the greatest female voice on the planet. And she should be selling out arenas, but for whatever reason, people don't get her. And I'm like,
it's a funny thing. It's called it. It's a kind of an it that you have that makes the common person want to deal with you. That's why you have a Kirk Franklin, or you have so many others that really don't sing at all, aren't the biggest singers. And it's that it thing that we can't put our finger on, and that's what makes A&Ring and everything so hard. Because you go to any church and there are people in every church that can sing better than the person that's up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time, but they don't. There's some. But I agree about Lalah. She's phenomenal. But it's one of those.
It's a mystery sometimes.
It's a total mystery. But so you've got a wonderful son now. Is he taller than you?
His name is Jaden.
That's right. Jaden, my daughter's getting ready to have a baby named Aiden. Any day now.
Awesome.
Jaden. Yeah.
Awesome. And that'll be grandchild number what for you?
Two.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you just
two little boys. Man.
I love it.
So now you I want to know when you found your comedic voice, and in the impersonations that you do of people, and you do it so well. How did you know that was there?
Well, I always knew I had a gift of a sense of humor. I wasn't class clown, but on every level of education, I was voted most humorous. So it was always acknowledged that I was funny.
Okay.
And when I was in college, the short of this long story is I became that go-to guy to make people laugh all the time and make people feel good. That was just that's my real calling. Okay. And I had gotten at the time a 2-year scholarship to the college, Oakwood College, and I was there for 2 years and enjoying myself. And at the end of the 2 years, I was just going to pack up and go back home. Well, on the last night of my being there, I was invited to one of the girls' dormitory for a worship service. It was a Christian college. And they brought me down at the end of the service and said they had a presentation, and the girl started crying. She said, "We hear that you're leaving tomorrow and this campus can't survive without you." So then 2 girls came down the aisle with an outdoor garbage can filled with money, and the student body paid for my next 2 years of college themselves.
What?
Yeah, it was thousands of dollars.
Oh, and they were making room for you.
Transferring money from their account to my account. The whole thing was, we got to have you on this campus. So for the last 2 years of 4 years there, the student body paid for me. And that's when I knew I had something. I didn't know what I was going to be doing, but I knew something was there.
There's something right going on right here.
So it just kind of went from there.
That's
wow.
That's how I knew I had something.
that's really incredible. But you've got there's another way you could have gone.
Well, yeah, you're right. There's another way I could have gone.
Well, how do you think you could have gone?
That's a good segue.
If I receive a garbage can full of money, that's a bunch of ways I would have gone.
So yeah. So what happened for most Black comedians of note, our entree into the business came from Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
And everybody who hit Def Jam found their own lanes. Many had huge successes. Some have even fallen off. So I was, if not the first, amongst the first who did a clean set on Def Jam. It was season 2. Season 1 was huge success. Enter season 2, the common question was, can anybody do it clean? And I had done some dates with Martin Lawrence from it when I was living in Atlanta. He said, I know one guy went on the road with me. So he referred me, and then Stan Lathan and all those came to Atlanta. They saw me, and then I got booked. So I do this amazing set, standing ovation and all that. At the end of it, Def Jam is doing this thing. They got Def Jam tours, Def Jam comedians. I don't fit into that, but had to find a way.
Yeah,
and that's when I decided, well, I do know gospel, and then I became gospel comedian from Def Comedy Jam, and it was like, what?
Okay. You came in through that way. Yeah.
You're just a comedian, but you fit into a place where you were needed in the general market.
Yeah. And then later on, and then that's when I dropped the title, because even Sinbad said, you don't need the title. You just be who you are. Be a comedian that is a Christian and enjoys gospel, but you ain't got to have the title. And now there are those who have the title because they really believe it's the ministry, and that's their thing. I ain't mad at them. They save souls through comedy. They are people that do.
Right. Well, that's the ministry. But
and I don't, I'm not a part of that. I believe that comedy for me is entertainment that could definitely make you feel better. But at the end of the day, a brother want a check, and I want people to be happy.
Right, and we appreciate that. But let's go back a minute. You opened for Sinbad, who's one of the people, and I heard he just had a stroke. Have you talked to him? How's he doing now?
I don't know. I tried to reach his wife through Facebook. I got a response back, but from what I hear, he's recuperating from it. So
good. Because I was just like, oh Lord, please, we've had Rance Allen and he was such a good guy, but he was somebody that his presentation when he did it was very serious, but he was somebody that you could was also kind of funny because his style was so right. That's so funny when people are really themselves, and I think that's what I like about you. You're yourself. You're not trying to be like somebody else, and that's when it comes out, like so much fun. But I was listening to you the other day. You guys, if you haven't gone on Jonathan's Instagram, Jonathan, what's your Instagram name? You guys gotta go on.
I am Jonathan Slocumb.
Okay, and you gotta spell Slocumb.
Oh, that's right. I am Jonathan, JONATHANSLOCUMB. Right there on the Comfortable Talks with. Boom.
Comfortable Talks. Comfortable Talks. We're in a car. That's supposed to be the whole thing.
That's the concept.
I know, and I was like, should I be in a? I said, should I be in a car? I said,
you don't have to be.
We in the car.
Yeah,
you in the car.
And it's hard being in the car because the lighting is.
It is what it is.
That's actually good lighting. It's always been good lighting in the car because you get the natural light.
Yeah, if you can find it, and we notice, gee, the weather changes, so it can.
That'll happen.
It can look really different. But one of the reasons you have got to, Jonathan, I feel that you've grown though. I saw you as a particular kind of a comedian, but now I'm starting to see you different because of Instagram and because you're becoming. Maybe you've always been this way, but I'm seeing you be so politically relevant right now and keep this up. So when I see something happen in the news, then I'll go and see what Jonathan's thinking about it. And baby, let's talk about you and how you feel right now. It's a very touchy subject, but it's funny is the Paula Whites, the Kenneth Copelands, and do you think it's fair to use these things as political fodder, or what do you think about it?
Comedic fodder.
What did I say? Comedic fodder.
Maybe political too.
Yeah.
Hey, well, it's both actually. You know, some of them act like clowns.
That's right.
You know, I all I can do is find something funny about it, because I never want to really give my real opinion on some things that are that touchy. You know, because I don't want to mess things up in my life.
Right.
But
you can't get booked no more.
But certain things, you know, I have to be kind of boisterous about, and that's when it comes to my God and my people. And don't try to take advantage of my people by way of my God. You can't.
Okay, let's say that again, brother.
Yeah. And so I never, ever took to those people who are wanting to get money from our people. And it fuels me when my people falls prey to it. Like, are you kidding me? I'm even funny when it comes to that in dating. I think a black man with a black mama should have a black woman. And
that's very interesting.
And when you go outside of that, you hurt your mama. I don't care what she say. She would much rather that woman
that's interesting.
With the man that she raised should be somebody that reminds him of her. So I go real far with that. You know,
you can go hard. You can go hard.
Yeah. I don't see how a man could be with a woman like that and sleep on white sheets and not know what on white sheets used to be.
Okay, brother, just come hard. But who was that woman that was doing the inky dinky do? Inky dinky do. I saw her.
She cracked me up.
Oh, that was a comedian who impersonated her to the T. I just found her on Instagram. She was amazing.
Okay, you just found her like that. But kind of give me your impressions of what you're feeling about this election. You're so tied to Atlanta, and I saw you in a beautiful picture with Stacey Abrams and Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
Or Aunt Maxine is so called.
Yeah.
So, are you going to get more involved in this? Are we going to get more political satire? And tell me.
Well, I don't know about the satire part, but a part of the reason why I came back to Atlanta, I'll just tell you the main reason why is my mom has early signs of Alzheimer's, so I just want to be close. You know. Okay. Secondly, well, actually, that's second. Number one, the first reason, my son is 17. He don't need dad like he used to. I was sticking around for him. I took him everywhere, and he hopped on the train, now he's gone. So he don't need me no more. And thirdly,
and he's taller than you?
Yeah, he's 6'3". I'm 6'2", he's 6'3". Yeah, he's tall. Basketball, hip hop dancing, all that stuff. He's great. And then I really wanted to be within right in the middle of what's happening with the mayor here, Keisha Lance Bottoms, she went to the same high school as me, and all this happening in Georgia and all this happening in the country. I wanted to be in it in some way. And so I let Keisha know that I'm back, and she's going to, do some things with me. And Warnock, who's running for senator.
Donnie McClurkin's on. Hi, Donnie.
Yeah, I owe Donnie money. No, that's no joke. No, and I'm gonna pay him back. I promise to God. This has been a long time.
And JoJo Hill,
he does a lot of work in the community, man. So
Donnie said, "God bless you." No, really, Donnie is. No. But you know what? That's a really serious thing. I love him, and he came to my rescue, and I just hadn't been able to do right by him, and I'm gonna take care of him.
He's that kind of a man, though.
Oh my God,
he's that kind of a man.
Yeah, he's big-hearted. He said, "Tell him to stop that." Anyway, so back to Atlanta. So I just wanted to be here. I want, like I talked about the importance of strong black women, black mayor. I did work for us from afar, Stacey Abrams, when she was running for governor, and now what she's doing to try to get people to vote, I'm down with that. And then, you know, when we had a campaign rally for her once, I had everybody, I said, she should have a theme song. And right on the spot, I said, what can we sing that everybody knows? And we went, Abrams.
Oh, that's cute.
And that became her theme song.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to be in the midst of it all. And
okay.
you know, and
well, you're in the midst of it.
It's one of those centers right now, man, of activity coming up with this election in January. Yeah. So it's going to be something else.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting time. And how are you feeling about the counting of the ballots and all of that kind of stuff?
I'm completely, I don't ignore it, but it's already done. We have won. You know, America's about to change, and it is because of the rallying of Black women. That specific demographic has made the difference in everything. And I want every Black man to know your life can be better with a Black woman. I'm trying to tell you.
That's right, honey, right?
That's it. Yeah, so Kanye, change your mind quick. Get out.
Kanye. I don't know. But
I guess it's too late for that. That's too late for that one.
He's got a great album, but well, bless God. That's all I say about that. Well, I'm gonna switch subjects to something that I admire from you, as well as all the other things you do, and that is your sense of fashion, darling. I remember you were the first comedian, especially in the circles that we were in, that had 2 earrings, and now you got these round glasses, and I saw you in a red brocade suit, and I think you had Manolo tennis shoes, sneakers on. Tell me about this.
All right, so the funniest thing is, Vicki and Claude, this just happened. Honest to goodness, I've always wanted, I'm old school when it comes to when I'm on stage. Back in the day, these guys wore suits and ties, and that's always, I've never been on stage without being properly attired, which I call my uniform. For me, you know, when somebody pays money to come see you, I'm not going to give you my street clothes. That's not even.
Amen. I'm there.
I don't. It's not even. I don't like that. So that's that. But as far as the fashion goes, it kind of just happened, like in the last 6 years or so, in this vein, because this white beard has added.
I love white beard.
This is my COVID beard.
Bro, and you better keep it that way too, Claude. Don't play. And so, as a mature man who wears certain things, it just stands out.
Yes.
You know? So now every day, I'm not lying, I don't care what I wear. If I'm walking to the store or wherever, pictures are being taken and people want to know, blah, blah. And then I found out, Dante used to always get on me over my clothes and hair. Did you read what Dante said? That's a funny story too. I know, I saw that. And well, it's too much. Okay, let me go back. So I'm learning that my style impacts people's perception of maturity. Yes. In that, I was one time at the Grove. I was just walking at the Grove. I had on
the Grove is in LA.
Yeah, in LA. I had on some overalls and a baggy t-shirt and a hat or something. And a young brother came up to me and said, "Excuse me, hey, I don't mean no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But when I look at you, all I say is, if I don't look that good when I get your age, I have failed my life." And he just walked away.
They walked away. That's it.
But the young brothers and they always say something about what I have on. And for me, I just want to be proper, but I happen to just enjoy certain things. And I don't shop at like a Men's Warehouse. That's not my thing. I just happen
Obviously not.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, and the thing that I don't like is when like a husband and wife, you know, out on dinner or something, and the wife say, "See, babe, that's why can't you look like that?" I hate when that happens.
Well, like, that is terrible for a wife to do, even if it is true.
It's terrible. So at the end of the day, though, on this whole fashion tip, is I want to be comfortable. I happen to not be afraid of color and being bold in my choices. You know, people try to relegate certain styles to your age. You know,
Right.
I don't subscribe to that. You
Right.
know, you do what you want. And then the other part is I have decided to not let what's stereotypical rule me. So a black man in fashion, stereotypically, he got to be gay.
Oh, okay.
I don't
What do you call
subscribe to
that?
that.
Right.
You know,
Doesn't have to be.
No, but a lot of people believe that. I've seen men who look at me and they look at me in a way like, and then some have said,
Trying to figure it out.
I thought you was gay, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was gay. How you think that? Well,
Just off the way you dress. That's
the way you
interesting.
dress. And that's why a lot of men, you notice a lot of the men who with high-powered women in business or in fashion, the men usually don't look that great. Usually. That's because those men have phobias around having a gay stylist to come in. Yeah, they don't want to have a gay man around them fixing their clothes. I've heard that. And so because of that, I'm going to enter into another phase of my life. I'm going to, you know, start doing some of that for the men who who are uncomfortable with certain kinds of presentation. I got them, you know.
Wow.
I know that
my husband is the type.
But I don't have your body type.
We bought Beyonce's Ivy Park last week. He's got on Ivy Park again. That looks just like what he had on last week, though. But you know, I let him do his thing.
Vicki, hold on. Hey, Clark, I want you to stop saying body type. I don't want that. See, a person's body doesn't determine their style. Do you know an actor by the name of
But it directs their style, doesn't it? It directs it.
An actor named who?
Shy McBride.
I know that name, but I don't know why. Is he younger?
Well, he's about our age. He's a big guy, but he is, to me, the best dressed man I've ever known.
Oh, okay. Well,
now,
right. I agree
when
with
he's outside of his characters on TV and film, when he dresses, I mean, this man, my God, he's a big dude. And so the key to the whole thing is a person's fit.
Yes,
how the clothes fit. And most men don't take the time to find their specific tailor or alterationist to make sure that the clothes fit properly.
Make it fit your body.
Arms and thighs and calves, every part of your body should be fitted. And that's why a lot of men miss it and don't be afraid, you know, to wear color.
Yeah, because
what do you? I'm sorry.
No, because I can't. Most of my stuff I can't buy off the rack. It's got to be tailored. It's got to be adjusted to tailored. So
yeah. I mean, you can buy it.
You're 100% right. So
yeah, you can buy it off the rack, but find someone that
I have to.
You got to spend some extra money for the alterations.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do that too because I'm so short. But what do you think about? And you guys online are going to have to help me with the name. But there's a young man on the cover of Vogue this time, and I think he's straight, but he's wearing a dress with a jacket and he's got a full skirt on. It's this month's Vogue, and there's a lot of controversy. And I think one of the women on Fox or something really came down on him. And I'm still kind of like, it's kind of like the same thing with what's the gentleman's name from Pose? This mixing women's clothes. Yeah. Yes.
You're not talking about him?
Mr. Porter, he does that, but there's a young white kid on the cover of Vogue this month, and it's a big controversy because he's wearing like fabulous jacket, but with a dress, and he's a guy. Guy. Is anybody Harry Styles? That's right. Thank you.
Oh, Harry Styles. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, but
I gotta see that because that's taking fashion. Thank you, Anita Wilson. And Anita Wilson is telling us too about Harry Styles. It's taking fashion kind of more in that Porter aspect of things, and it's I don't know. I don't like it really.
Well, you know,
Porter's fine when he does it because I get it with the whole Pose thing, but Harry Styles, I didn't love it. Did anybody else love that?
I haven't seen it, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, he represents Harry Styles, and he doesn't speak for all of fashion. That would not be a trend. It's his, just same thing with Brother Porter, the exact same thing. I look at men who who believe in style, and as it relates to the longevity, you know, some things are classic. You know, I love double-breasted suits. It had lost its flavor for a minute. It's coming back, but I hope that it never leaves, because it's just a matter of classic, timeless style. Some things would never ever go out of style. Every body type, and you can use that and build on that. You know, but people just have to find that. People have to find their own preference, their own aesthetic, and run with it forever.
My cousin Stacy was saying one of the things he has on looks like a kilt, and then I was looking on the Oscars or something, and one of the guy from Schitt's Creek had a kilt on too, and so I was like, okay, I think about this. I don't know, because I mean, there have been times historically when men have worn what we would call dresses now, or full robes, and so I'm just wondering where fashion is going now.
There is no direction. It's now as at the places everything goes. It depends on what you want to do. You know, we look at the pulpit. Every preacher doesn't wear a robe anymore. Every preacher doesn't wear a suit and a tie anymore. Everything is changed. Everything and everybody, and it's a good place to be, because you have your own freedom to be yourself. The only thing I take issue with is, you know, when brothers know that it's time to cut their hair, don't try to keep that receding hairline alive. Kill it. Let it go.
How do you love the
even if you
shoe
have to
polish?
Oh my God! Don't, please. That makes me more upset. I want people to embrace, you know, maturity. Just let it happen.
Don't
Claude, you gotta admit, Claude, you feel sexier now with that gray goatee than you've ever felt. You know.
Oh, my wife loves this, man.
I better believe it. You better believe it. You better believe it. You just gotta believe it.
It extends my face. You know, she has something to play with.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to tell everything. Don't say that.
We already know.
You tell a little bit too much. Patrick Henderson is on, and we're changing the subject. And you know Patrick Henderson, the great keyboard player. Yeah, he's on. He says men wear loin cloth. Is that how you say it? Yeah, loin cloth. He wants to know, why are we Christians so homophobic? That's an interesting topic for maybe another time. We're gonna need to have him up. That's interesting. And Don Mack says, see, that's what he said about my receding hairline. He's a bum.
No, Donnie, no. See, let me tell you a story about Donnie. Where do you go? Donnie was still lining that he had a little piece right here, and he was still lining it. I'm like, Donnie, cut it out, man. Stop it. And then he cut it, and suddenly Donnie became a sex symbol. He wasn't sexy before. Women look at that.
So you helped him.
Oh no, I'm the reason why he cut it off. Dr. Freddie Haynes in Dallas, same thing with him. I said, bro, let that go. Stop it. Go. That's what.
It's a different season,
I might be telling too much, but this is a little, I guess, urban gospel humor or something. You know, Bishop Paul S. Morton used to augment his look. And I heard that B.B. Winans told him, you actually think that looks good, don't you? Wait. And he took it off, and he's so very handsome. Bishop, I like the way he looks.
Look at his retirement concert that I hosted at his church. It was years ago. And so I made a statement. I said, and look at Bishop Paul Morton. I said, Bishop Paul Morton went against the Samson story, because Samson lost his hair and got weak. Bishop took his hair off. He got better looking. His church got stronger. He got more attractive. He went out. He stood up. He was laughing so hard. and then I said, it was controversial. I said, and what happened to all that hair? Oh, I know what happened. You sold it to Eddie Long, because he was wearing. Eddie Long. I said, you took yours off and you sold it to Eddie Long, and Eddie Long packed it on his head before he left. God rest his soul.
Yeah, God rest his soul. But tell me now, what's happening for you in the future? So we've talked about that a little, and I hope nobody was offended by that. But I think it's funny.
It's real, man.
It's real, hey. But I'm not giving up my Miss Clara, and you might see me like, what's his name, the politician that, Rudy.
No, you were there. I'll write it off for you, baby.
Vicky, I cannot wait until you embrace, Vicky, when you embrace it, I'm gonna tell you something.
Baby, I'm not there yet.
Everything about
Pray for me.
But when it happens,
my hair is probably white. My hair is probably totally white. But
it's in the family. It's in the family.
The Lord has to speak to me more on that. I haven't.
I know what I'm gonna do, because there's somebody that's close to me who was having the same challenges, and I kept sending photos until she decided to go completely here, and you should see her. Amazing.
Yeah, I need to do it soon. I need to do it, but I just haven't.
She has got to release it.
I haven't got it yet. But,
you know who else? But you know who else said that? The same thing you're saying?
Who?
Bishop Kenneth Ulmer. He said to me,
of course.
Listen.
Yeah, that's my bishop.
So we know.
It's mine too. So I did this performance for his staff one time, and I was talking about, this, and my tagline used to be, I came out and I'm openly gray. That's what I used to say. I'm openly gray. And then Bishop got up, he said, well, God bless your son, but I ain't gonna never let mine come in. He said he spoke with Charlie Wilson and Lionel Richie. The three of them said they would never.
Oh, so Charlie Wilson ain't going
gray. Yeah, he just like Charlie Wilson.
Charlie Wilson ain't never going gray. It's not happening.
And Lionel Richie.
By the way, I love Charlie Wilson's show. Every time he's around, I try to go see it.
Yeah.
Because he just incorporates everything.
Lionel Richie is without a doubt one of the great. I'm sorry, Charlie Wilson is one of the greatest shows ever. And you can't.
If you ever see it, check him out.
You cannot follow him. You can't. Nobody. The only two people can come after Charlie Wilson is Beyonce and Michael Jackson. That's it.
Listen, we went to the Essence Festival, and he came on before Prince, and he made it hard for Prince.
No. I was there, and it wasn't Prince.
Who was it?
Was it Usher?
I don't want to say the person's name because I love him too, and I don't. It was unfortunate for that person.
People were leaving,
and I was kind of.
That's exactly right. They made a quick exit because you cannot follow Charlie Wilson. He had his show.
And then he does his testimony.
He does a testimony segment.
I was dancing with him when he was talking about being freed from drugs. I'm like, that's no joke.
Yeah. And you know what? And on that subject, we can talk about for a hot second. I would love for music after this COVID thing is over. I would love for concerts to be more balanced. Like I would love for gospel artists to step out of the four walls of the church and go into a venue and charge ticket prices so people can see that gospel music is a viable money-making music source and not always just for ministry purposes, and not just Kirk and Yolanda and Fred. I'm talking about,
there's some new ones coming.
And I'm just saying, I hope that they would, embrace the idea that people will patronize their gift and their artistry,
and I would look at PJ Morton.
Well, see, PJ Morton is another whole thing, but PJ Morton really typifies what I'm talking about. I want people to understand that you can enjoy all music genres and still not compromise your faith. And so I would love it if, Yolanda sang a song that she wrote and sang a tribute song to Patti LaBelle on the same concert. There's nothing wrong with that.
She's close to that, though.
You don't know. I just use her as an example. I mean, anybody. So I just want, because I want a loving, wonderful experience of a concert that embraces all music. That, as you said, Charlie Wilson does a gospel set. When I toured with Aretha Franklin, she did the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting world we live in. And so in speaking that way, we're almost at our time. We want to know what we should look for from you in the future. And like I already have really encouraged people to go on Jonathan's Instagram site and watch him have fits about the Atlanta Falcons losing as one thing, and watching him with his clothes and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you were very prophetic in that sense.
Claude, I just had a feeling in my spirit.
Yeah, just call it that. You just had to feel it.
I just had a feeling in my spirit. It was just gonna happen. You know what? I have returned to Atlanta to, I guess, end the legacy where it all started. You know, and Atlanta's doing a lot in the industry, and there are some things that I believe will be happening. I'm going full force into an area that, for whatever reason, Black folk are running from and haven't been hugely successful, and it's a void, and it's going to be filled by way of what I do here in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm not going to say much on it, but I'll say this one phrase, and that is, the void was left open by Arsenio Hall.
Okay. Got you.
All right. Well, we're going to be
close that void.
So excited to see that, and can't wait to see you come back to LA. That's what I call home too, or back and forth. That's what it sounds like you're doing. You've always been kind of back and forth though between.
Not really. I've always been based. I've been in LA for 30 years. And,
30 years, Jonathan?
Yeah. I first came there the year that Magic Johnson announced he had HIV. That's the year I came.
Oh, okay.
That's
a lot of that.
Yeah. And that was, by mere miracle that. Do you know who Lou Adler is?
Yes, I know that name, but why do I know it?
Lou Adler was one of the first starters of A&M Records. He owns Roxy, the Roxy Theater on Sunset. He's the reason why I came to LA.
Oh, okay.
Because he used to have a little children's gospel choir that was on a label that he had reopened called Ode, ODE, and he was at the Stellar Awards one year, and he saw me performing, and he sent someone over to me. If I'm ever in LA, you want to talk to me. So I came out to LA to talk to host my college roommate's wedding reception. I had a meeting with Lou Adler. Lou Adler said, to my surprise, he discovered Cheech and Chong, the comedian, the comedy duo. And he said, when I saw you, I thought maybe we can do something within this whole faith thing, with you being a comedian. I want to sign you to my label. And I said, really? He said, yeah. Do you live here? I said, no. Would you move here? I said, I would if I had the money. He wrote me a check for $20,000. Said, go get your stuff and come back. And that's the first. Hey, Vicki, Claude, that's the first time I said yes, sir, to a white man.
Yes.
And I went, got my stuff, and I moved back.
We got a little less than a minute. I want you to know that, if you're going to be in Atlanta, so let us know if there's some ways that we can help in that fight down there. So if we can, let us know when we're doing what we can. But let us know, because you're boots on the ground, so to speak, and we trust you. But just let us know how we can help.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm going to become more involved in the next coming week or so. I want to wait till the holidays was over and all that. But it's got to be done.
Well,
definitely.
Thank you so much. We'll have to do this again next year and see your progress. And we love you so much. And we're going to have to break bread again. And thanks to everybody that came on and supported my family, of course. They always are on there, and all of our other good friends. And remember to say a prayer for Troy Clark and his family.
His family,
got Rance Allen and a number of people. But God is good, and we're here. And thank you for being a person that makes us smile, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. God bless you, brother.
Claude, don't die this. You better keep it.
No, it is what it is, bro.
Okay. All right.
It is what it is. I ain't dying nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, bye, Daddy.
Hey, this is for your daughter. I want this for her.
Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to be quarantine friendly.
She's supposed to be quarantined.
I know. I heard about it. But you're like my female Basquiat.
Yeah, Basquiat, she is.
You're killing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.